You tell me, person that has clicked this video, you tell me, because I don't know. I do my best, I try, I put all my efforts into the WWE, and then they kind of just surprise you with some, is it nonsense? Is it ridiculous? Is it secretly going to turn out to be the best thing ever when we find out where they're actually heading? I don't know anymore. That's my thing. I don't know anymore, hence why I started this video by asking you. But another Raw is in the books, and that means we take the finger of power, the fop, give the good bits an up, and we give the bad bits a down. Let's do it. WWE made it clear from the off that we are not done with this Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt feud, even though now Seth Rollins is on Raw and Bray Wyatt is on SmackDown. So I'm glad we stuck to that, even though the draft hasn't even finished. The draft hasn't even finished by the point this was all going on. Who even cares? Basically, look, we saw a video package and it showed the Firefly Funhouse, it showed Hell in a Cell, and yeah, you were told we are going to do something else with this, which we did on this evening, and let's save all of that for later. Raw then started properly and Becky Lynch headed to the ring, and I only have one question. Could somebody please tell me how many heel turns Charlotte Flair has had? Because she interrupted the man here, and she was like, Becky, I just want to be friends, I just want to be pals, and then she just popped her right in the face like a dastardly bad guy would do. I mean, I thought when she was feuding with Bayley, she had gone like good guy, nice person again, but now she's on Raw and she's gone bad, and I don't even know why. I can't keep up with it. So I need someone to tell me. I need you to send me in some kind of graph or some kind of chart so I can stay up to date. But either way, down. These two were going to have a match though, and that was good. Some people just have a natural chemistry. That goes for Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. It's like having cheese and then having more cheese. Give it up. They were fighting for the first Raw draft pick, which is probably why Becky Lynch won, because, you know, she's on Raw, but also she is the Raw Women's Champion, so you may as well start ticking as many boxes as you can. And guess how she won? That's right, she won with the most devastating move in all of WWE, the surprise roll-up. Because Charlotte could not get her head around the fact that the man had just kicked out one of her spears, so Becky was all like, I see my moment. She got her, she gave her a cradle, and got the 1, 2, 3. And Charlotte just couldn't believe it. Instead of going straight to our draft pick though, instead we went to the back where Seth Rollins was cutting a promo, and am I the only person that hears the things that he says? No, because my name is Simon Miller and nobody talks like that, Seth Rollins. I'm not gonna lie, I feel for you, buddy. I don't feel like WWE is giving you a good turn, because when you were backstage and somebody stuck a microphone into your beard, you had to say, jibber jabber, hell in a cell. The Fiend, I don't even think he's a human being, and he showed up on SmackDown and almost dragged me to hell. Quick note, WWE or Seth Rollins, hell does not exist beneath a WWE ring. But then something clicked. Maybe I've been going about this all wrong. I've been trying to move forward, but that ends tonight, because tonight I'm going fiend hunting, I'm going to end things, and I'm going to burn it down. I felt like I was reading the back of a DVD box when you were saying all these things, Seth, because it was just marketing statement, put it on a t-shirt. Nobody talks like that. Honestly, just let him talk. Rollins would be fine if you just let him speak like a real human being. I mean, fiend hunting, it sounds like he's about to go out there and find some petty criminals. Down. Hilariously, Raw then aired a clip of CNBC's Jim Cramer talking about the draft, and he focused his attentions on Ricochet, even though Ricochet had already been drafted to Raw on Friday. You know, we'd already seen that it was done. I love WWE, I truly do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. They have provided me with so much entertainment and so many memories over the years. That's just funny, isn't it? That's just funny. Oh, what's gonna happen to Ricochet? He already moved, bro. He moved, dude. It happened last week. Stephanie McMahon was then back, and we were doing the exact same thing we did on SmackDown for Raw when it comes to the drafts. We had the two war rooms with the USA executives and the Fox executives, and that RoboCop NFL player was back. And for those who missed the point on Ups and Downs over the weekend, I know this is based on what the NFL does, but that does not mean that I think it works for wrestling. In wrestling, there are no rules. You can kind of do whatever you want. I just think we could have more fun with it. That's it. I think it could be more entertaining. I think we could jazz it up and give it a bit of flavor, a bit of palaver, a bit of madness. That's it. You may disagree. That's cool. That's what life's all about. That's how I feel. Down. Brock Lesnar and New Day are now SmackDown, and Seth Rollins, Andrade with Zelina Vega, and somewhat surprisingly, Charlotte Flair are heading to Monday night, or they are heading to Raw. And I can't get my head around that last one, because for the last, 6 months, Charlotte has been like a poster person for the Friday night show, and going to Fox and be like, oh, look at this person. And now both her and Becky Lynch are on the USA Network. I mean, there's got to be something in this. I think it's probably going to change. I can't believe it, but I will say, I enjoyed the fact it was so out of left field. I enjoyed the fact it was so out of nowhere. I have to worry about what's going on behind the scenes with USA and Fox for real, and who they want and who they don't want. I just want to enjoy, like I say, a shock. And that's what this was. Round of applause. We then had that draft panel again. You know, Booker T was there, and Beth Phoenix was there, and Randy Young was there, and Samoa Joe was there. And once again, it was just meh. And oh my gosh, Zelina Vega won the entire evening. She was coming to the ring alongside Andrade, who was going to have a match with Ali, and she referred to the 4 horsewomen as the 4 horse faces. I mean, that is one of the worst insults I have heard in probably my entire life, but it was so dumb and it was so stupid, I started to laugh out loud. And after all, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me, which, by the way, is the dumbest phrase on, it's just stupid, it's dumb. If someone comes up to me and calls me a bald asshole, and they really mean it, I'm probably going to be quite afflicted by that. But if you come up and start hitting me with a stick, I'm probably just going to look at you and be like, what are you doing? You're bothering me. Anyway, when I do laugh that much, it can get an up, a stupid up, but an up all the same. But also take that and tie it into the match between Andrade and Ali. They kicked a lot of ass. It was Vega who got involved here too, because she gave Ali a Hurricane Rana behind the referee's back. So when he stumbled back into the ring, Andrade gave him a hammerlock DDT. And he gets his first win on Raw. Although wasn't he on Raw before? I don't even know. The wild card Raw spoiled everything. Maybe he was on NXT. I have no clue. Moving us into round 2 of the draft, and the Kabuki Warriors, Rusev and Aleister Black, are now on Raw, and Bayley and Daniel Bryan are going to hang around on SmackDown. I do enjoy what WWE is going to do with the Women's Tag Team Championships. Asuka and Kairi Sane can defend those titles on both brands until they lose them, and then they have to stick to Raw. I mean, really, that's what we should be doing with all of the championships, and we should only have one world champion, but beggars can't be choosers, so I ain't gonna worry about it anymore. We don't cry over spilt milk, which, by the way, is another stupid saying. If you are crying over spilt milk, I would hazard a guess to say that it's something else in your life that is making you upset. Michael Che and Colin Jost then did a little bit. You remember them from the WrestleMania thing. They pretended they're now friends with Braun Strowman, and then it turned out they're actually not friends with Braun Strowman. Don't lie about having friends. Now this one is quite hard, because we did have the Viking Raiders taking on Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler for the Raw Tag Team Championships, and somehow the Viking Raiders actually got the victory, so they now hold their titles. And on one hand, this one, you know, we didn't even give Rudolph a chance. I mean, they were thrown together at the last minute, and they haven't really had one serious feud since they were able to obtain those belts. But on the other, they ain't a real team. WWE will definitely split them up before long, whereas the Viking Raiders, I mean, they're like the definition of a tag team. Also, this match was fun. It's getting up. It was almost over in a minute as well, because the Viking Raiders just went, well, look, we ain't getting paid by the hour. Let's just go and whoop their behinds. And after a big splash onto Dolph Ziggler, if Bobby Roode hadn't have pulled him out the ring, that would have been that. Of course, it wasn't. We then went into proper tag team wrestling, but I tell you, once again, this was good. It was fast-paced, it didn't let up, the fans got into it, and when the Viking Raiders eventually hit the Viking Experience onto Dolph Ziggler, because of course it was Dolph Ziggler, it's always Dolph Ziggler, everybody seemed pretty pleased that Ivar and Eric, or whatever the hell their names are, it seems to change on a weekly basis, were able to capture these belts. So we do have new champions, and hopefully we actually do something with them. I mean, so many times we have these big moments and it doesn't go anywhere, and you're left scratching your head like some kind of hamster that doesn't know where that little wheel has gone. Also, we did get a promo afterwards from the Viking Raiders where they said, hey, we've won loads of titles. We won the WWE titles, we won the NXT titles, we've won the Ring of Honor titles. I think they mentioned New Japan too. That never happens. Should do it more. Makes it feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We also had another cutaway, this time from the NHL guys who work on NBC, and I appreciate WWE trying something different, but clearly none of these people watch wrestling. They did it again later with the Premier League guys. Let's never do it again. Draft time! It kind of like sneaks up on you, doesn't it? But heading to Raw are Cedric Alexander, 205 Live's Humberto Carrero, and Eric Rowan. And of course, with that last one, it does mean that the Roman Reigns-Daniel Bryan feud is absolutely dead, which is actually quite a shame. I could have had a bit more of it. On top of that, Ali and Shinsuke Nakamura, as well as Sami Zayn, are going to SmackDown, so I think WWE now sees Sami Zayn as a manager. Hands up if you feel sorry for Sami Zayn. You know what? Got two hands. They're both going up. And if you are doing this at home as well, while I do appreciate it, you are going to look really weird. Aleister Black then kicked Eric Young in the head and beat him in around about 90 seconds. Now, I don't mind this because I just want to see Aleister Black get pushed, even though I do feel a little bit sorry for Eric Young. But he finished him off with that modified Dragon Sleeper, which WWE is now calling the Dark Ritual because it's scary and Aleister Black was really spooky. And it was the draft again. I mean, we're just zooming through these now, aren't we? Almost like we just want to get it done. But R-Truth, Jinder Mahal, and Buddy Murphy are on Raw. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, interestingly, and Carmella are headed to SmackDown. And that means, yes, it is the end of the R-Truth Carmella friendship. I know that hurts me. I'm sure it hurts you, but didn't they have a lovely run? A salute for those two. The 24/7 championship won't be the same without you. Also, it doesn't make any sense how you can have a 24/7 champion that can't go on the other show, given he has to defend his title all the time, but I don't care. And then finally, we put the Street Profits in a feud. Thank goodness for that. It was nothing over the top, but that is fine. They were approached backstage by the OC, who questioned, why did USA want you on this show when they've already got us? We are everything. Go away. The Street Profits didn't want to go away. The Gallows and Anderson and AJ Styles just beat the crap out of them. That is all I need. That is all I asked for. Now put the Street Profits in the ring. Do it yesterday. Ricochet, man, I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I know it's not his fault, but he was coming to the ring and he had one of those window promos, and not only does his new shirt say superheroes are real, and the R is just the R, but then he had to say this. Hello, my name is Simon Miller, and welcome to Nobody Talks Like That, featuring the one and only Ricochet, who also has to say things like this. No one is forced to be a passenger. Not true. If you get arrested and put in a police car, you are a passenger. You and only you are the driver of your own destiny. I will prove to the entire WWE universe that superheroes can be real. And the guys that you are describing superheroes as, Mr. Rick, that is not true. It's not fair because nobody can sound cool saying this stuff because, surprise, surprise, nobody talks like that. Down. Thankfully, he was then allowed to have a very good match with Shelton Benjamin, even though Shelton Benjamin has been a ghost up to this point. Like a few weeks ago, he was like, oh, what's going on? And he just left and decided not to come back to work. Ricochet got the win after the code breaker, and Ricochet is a damn good professional wrestler. Up. Do please note, though, that throughout all this, the commentator did mention Spider-Man around about 42,209 times. So if you think this is going to stop or go away anytime soon, you are incorrect. Ricochet is Spider-Man, and he also has spider senses because superheroes are real. Okay, right, everyone just sit down. I'm just going to get through this as quickly as I possibly can because Lana was then shown on the big screen having a massage, and she was also informing us that the massage was nice and hard because she likes it hard. The massage was also nice and deep because she likes it nice and deep. And if you don't know what this was referencing, I am not going to tell you. Go ask your mum or go ask your dad. They need to have a little conversation. Why do I have to say this? Why? I'm out. I'm done. I'm going. I mean, fair play to Bobby Lashley, who does seem to be having loads of fun with this because he came in at one point and he replaced the masseuse and he had the stupidest smile on his face, but it did make me chuckle inside. But why do I have to hear Lana making sexual references? I mean, if you like it, that's cool. And I know it's Attitude Era-esque, but it wasn't that good back then and it's not good now. I'm going. I'm leaving. I'm going over this way. I'm going to duck down like I'm doing limbo. I'm going to go backwards. Why not? WWE does whatever they want, so can I. Going backwards like some kind of camel. And I know who is aimed at too. I get it. Still. Shrug. Down. To then bury myself, I enjoyed the Tyson Fury Braun Strowman segment. I mean, there is no continuity or consistency on here, ups and downs at all. But I guess that's why it's quite fun. Up. It was every single WWE contract signing you've ever seen, but I just like the fact that neither man took it that seriously. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way. It just seemed like they were having fun because Braun Strowman was all like, oh, you're going to get these hands because everybody's going to get these hands. He smashed the table. And then Tyson Fury was pretending he wasn't strong enough to break the pen. And when he finally did break said pen, he celebrated like he finally knocked out Deontay Wilder. It was dumb, silly, and certainly not to everybody's taste, but look, it is boxer versus wrestler. There's only so much you can do. This is the direction I would always want it to head in. I know, there's the comments go crazy. Another ridiculous draft cutaway as Al Roker questioned whether the New Day would get split up, even though about an hour earlier, we were told that the New Day were not getting split up. You tell me. Anyway, the draft then told us that Samoa Joe, Tozawa, and Shelton Benjamin, there he is, he has returned, are going to be on Raw, and The Miz and Tawley Baldy are going to SmackDown. If you don't know who Tawley Baldy is, then you really should have watched Ups and Downs from SmackDown that did go live on Saturday. As a little hint, as a little clue, he's recently been feuding with Shorty Gable. I'm sure from that sentence, you can work out why I called him Tawley Baldy. We then had a tremendous match between Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy, and I mean, this was superb. Give it up. There's not much to report because you can already figure out what these two did, aside from the fact that we wanted to establish that Cedric Alexander is the face and Buddy Murphy is the heel, because Cedric was all like, hey, let's have a hearty handshake, and Buddy Murphy did the most dastardly of things where he didn't shake his hand and instead took some hair juice and chucked it in Alexander's face. Like, I can't give anybody hair juice because I don't have any hair, but I still understand that it is a horrible thing to do. Ended with Murphy's Law, which is a very good move, by the way, and let's hope, I was talking about earlier, that we actually use this to do something with Murphy. I mean, we keep calling him the best secret in the WWE. It can't be a secret if I already have seen him have good fights with the likes of Roman Reigns. So just use him, he's somebody different. The commentators also kept going, it's the future of Monday Night Raw. Don't worry about that, make him the present. It was here when WWE then announced that at Crown Jewel, we are getting Seth Rollins versus The Fiend in a last man standing match. And here is some exclusive footage of my reaction to that. One, I already thought that Seth was on that card because he's going to be the captain of Team Hogan. And two, I cannot see in any universe where they change the Universal title at a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, because if you've watched any of them, you know they're kinda just glorified house shows. And if I am correct there, and boy howdy do I hope I'm wrong, well, just think of the reaction and think of the fallout. The internet will implode. The Street Profits also challenged the OC to a match. They're going to have a mystery third partner, but they are not going to tell you who it is. So I'm going to make a prediction. This is all speculative, but my brain says all of this will go down at Crown Jewel on October the 31st, and the mystery man will be Booker T. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Those are the facts. Time to end the draft now because Rey Mysterio, Titus O'Neil, and Liv Morgan are Raw, which means we're done with the Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio stuff. I know so many people thought they were going to have a big blow-off match. More for you. And on to SmackDown, go Shorty Gable and Elias. And he was actually called Shorty Gable. That's his new name. They had like the big screen saying Chad Gable, Shorty Gable, this is what he's achieved. And it should have gone, he's really short. The next one, actually, he's just below average height. And the third one, I know that we have, shorter people on our roster, but for some reason we just thought we'd bully Chad Gable. Also, someone better go find Liv Morgan first too, because within the world of WWE, she don't even exist. Final draft panel as well, as Booker T gave us a huge tease that there is one more massive draft pick going to happen, but you can only find out about it if you watch the new WWE Backstage show on FS1. I wonder why they did that. And I didn't understand what happened next, because it was the Kabuki Warriors in an on-title match against Natalya and a partner of her choosing. And if you're thinking, well, she wouldn't have picked Lacey Evans, because that wouldn't make any storyline sense, more for you, she did go and pick Lacey Evans. I get it from a whole I respect you after all these wars that we are in point of view, but last week I saw Natalya throw her through a table. So that phone call conversation has to go, all right, Lace, babe, I hope you're all right. Do you want to be my partner? And then Lacey Evans would go, no, I've still got splinters in my back from where you tried to kill me. But no, apparently after all that feuding and all the war and the battle, and the commentator says, we'll never see these people again because of the draft, now they're a tag team. They even had a pose. They got to the top of the entrance and did a back-to-back pose like they'd been practicing. Down. Somehow though, turning Kairi Sane and Asuka heel is working wonderfully. I don't get it either. Up. Because they won here after, wait for it, the most devastating move in all of WWE, the surprise roll-up. And this one really was a surprise because Lacey Evans hit Kairi Sane with her women's right without realizing, oh no, Asuka is actually the legal person. She ran in, rolled her up out of nowhere and got the 1, 2, 3. Also, yes, this match was too long, but I ain't gonna start crapping on Kairi Sane and Asuka because finally they're being used on TV again and I'd like to keep it that way. Also, I'm always gonna back my evil pirate and green misspitting friends. That's just what's going down here on Ups and Downs. And then, my lovely watchers, it happened. I think we just have to be honest with ourselves. We just have to be truthful. When it comes to Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins, WWE has made their choice and they have picked Seth. That's all this is. That explains Hell in a Cell and it explained what happened here. And you know what? It's WWE's company. It's WWE's narrative. They are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. So good for them. Unfortunately, all the decisions they are making are not the ones the fans want to see, and that's where the issues arise, and that's why down. It was, of course, the Firefly Funhouse, which started with Bray Wyatt saying that Seth Rollins is a really brave dude and he likes him and he's a swell fellow, before Rambling Rabbit, who is back from the dead once more, was like, dude, Seth Rollins is going to the Firefly Funhouse, what are we gonna do? And of course, Wyatt was like, no, he's not, you stupid puppet. No one knows where this place is, and maybe it even exists in my head. I mean, if you go on the internet, you can find all these quite interesting fan theories. Everybody just needs to calm the flip down. What we should have done is listened to the fake rabbit, because yes, Rollins then entered the Firefly Funhouse, and he absolutely beat the living hell out of a man named Bray Wyatt. Bray did keep getting back up and even said to Rollins, why are you doing this to me, man? I thought we were friends. And then Seth let us know that his catchphrase is actually a statement, because he said, he looked right into the camera like I'm looking now and went, burn it down. And then he set fire to the Firefly Funhouse. Why, when we have a Bray Wyatt program or a Bray Wyatt feud, does it end with somebody committing arson? Randy Orton did it to his barn or his hut or his shed, and now Seth Rollins is doing it to his kids' TV show. We heard Bray Wyatt's laugh as Raw went off air, and also throughout all of this, you could hear overdubs of The Fiend like going, Bray, it sounded a bit like Jabba the Hutt or someone that's about to throw up and vomit everywhere. But I don't understand why we did this now. I get it in like a year's time or a huge angle that you built. You're like, oh my gosh, somebody got in the Firefly Funhouse. But to do it on a random episode of Raw after all the madness of Hell in a Cell, I don't think this is what anybody wants to see. Unless, of course, we are turning Seth Rollins heel. Because even in the arena, once again, like at the pay-per-view, everybody was just booing. Everybody was booing. And in what world does Seth Rollins come off on a good guy here? Also, why are go-home lines now literal? Seth is burning things down. So what, is Braun Strowman actually going to get some people's hands, rip them right off the wrist? Is Randy Orton actually going to start talking to the voices in his head like, oh, hey, brain, what's going down? Is The Rock going to come back and actually start smelling the ring? Where's it cooking? Where's it cooking? I thought these lines were just meant to be cool things that people say, but now Seth Rollins is actually burning things down. Seth Rollins is an arsonist. Seth Rollins has committed a crime. Somebody lock him up and put him away for 15 years. This just felt a little bit too much like cult leader Bray Wyatt territory, and I'm really scared that we're going to get to Crown Jewel. Bray Wyatt will lose again, and that'll be that. We'll be exactly where we were like 2 years ago. It's just not for me. It's not my thing. As I said numerous times on Ups and Downs and Why videos, I wanted Bray Wyatt to just run through the entire roster. Really eat this out, have a good time, something that we could just enjoy. And now I don't even know what he is anymore. And if you do, honestly, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I respect you massively. It's an entertainment show, and as long as you were entertained, then you've won. If you get the spinning arrow, heads down, mourn, sadness, it's getting it down. Unless the Fiend actually does win at Crown Jewel. If that happens, flip back, reverse it. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about a pretty crazy episode of Raw. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE, and watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. As always, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you tomorrow when we up those downs for AEW Dark, and then I'll be back on Saturday to up those downs for SmackDown.